ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
So acidic strength. All are monobasic acid. So that means there is only one ionizable hydrogens. But which is stronger acid in them? So we have to see the one which easily releases H plus ion. So I can explain the same thing by two concepts. Let us see the first one, ClOH. Next one, ClO2, HClO2. The next one is HClO3. HClO4. So you can see there is only one OH, here also one OH, one OH, one OH. So there is only one ionizable hydrogen. Now this chlorine, right, is less electronegative than oxygen. Oxygen pulls electron density from hydrogen, therefore it carries positive charge. If you see here the difference, there is one unprotonated oxygen, there is one unprotonated. This is protonated oxygen, this is unprotonated. The unprotonated oxygen, it has only one source to pull the electrons, that is nothing but chlorine. So more the number of such unprotonated oxygen, we have two here, we have three, 1, 2, 3. More the number of unprotonated oxygens in the molecule, more electronegative will be the central atom. That means this chlorine is more electronegative than this chlorine. This chlorine is more electronegative than this chlorine because you have more unprotonated, and this is the most electronegative atom. That is why its oxidation state is +7. Here it is +5, here it is +3. So more the number of unprotonated oxygens in the molecule, more electronegative will be the central atom, right? So this chlorine is more electronegative because it carries more positive charge and pulls from this oxygen and makes the oxygen to pull more electron density from hydrogen, right? So as you can see, then as I move from right to left, number of unprotonated oxygen decreases, electronegativity of chlorine also decreases, thereby the positive charge on this hydrogen atom gradually decreases. That means this hydrogen can be released with ease compared to this hydrogen, which in turn can be released easily compared to this hydrogen. That means acidic strength increases as the oxidation state of central atom increases. That is first one. The second concept is write the corresponding anions. So if I write the corresponding anion, what I will get? ClO minus. Here what I will get? ClO minus. Here what I will get? Here is Cl double bond O minus. This is ClO minus double bond O double bond O double bond. So this is what the anions you will get after the loss of H plus. If the anion is stable, then the acid readily loses H plus. That means you have to see the stability of its conjugate base. The negative charge is localized only oxygen because there is no resonating structures. You can write two resonating structures. That means the negative charge is delocalized on two atoms. Here it is delocalized on all the atoms, three resonating structures. Here you will get 4. So more the number of resonating structures, the delocalization of negative charge is more. If the delocalization is more, the stability of anion increases. What is the anion? Conjugate base. If the conjugate base is more stable, then the acidic strength is more. The strength of the acid will be more. Therefore, this is weak conjugate base. Sorry, the stability of the base is less. The stability of this base is more. Therefore, the acid can readily lose its H plus, forming this anion because its stability is more, right? So higher the stability order of conjugate base, stronger is the acid. Stability order of conjugate base. So which is more stable? ClO4 minus, ClO minus, ClO2 minus, So, so I can conclude that acidic strength order HClO less than HClO2 less than HClO3 less than HClO4. Very important bit. Can expect this question. So I have explained it based upon two concepts. One is based upon the electronegativity of central atoms. More the number of unprotonated oxygens, higher will be the electronegativity of central atom, making the hydrogen easy to remove. The second concept, the stability of conjugate base. Right, if you write the conjugate base, right, as you can see, the one which has more resonating structures is highly stable, that means it is readily formed. So this is HClO4 readily forms ClO4 minus, releasing H plus ion, compared to HClO because its stability is less. So if you write the strength of conjugate base, basic strength of conjugate base, it is reverse. This is unstable, readily accept proton, therefore this is strong conjugate base. So this is about acidic strength. Now if you see two more important points, hypochlorous acid, HOF, HOCl, HOBr, HOI. What is the acidic strength order? See this oxygen. The fluorine pulls from oxygen because fluorine is more electronegative than oxygen, making it more electronegative. So it has to pull more from this bond. When I come to this HOCl, oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen, so it pulls from hydrogen. Chlorine is less electronegative, therefore oxygen also pulls from chlorine. In this case, oxygen cannot pull from fluorine, but here it can pull from chlorine. So there are two sources for electrons density for oxygen. Here also the same story, oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen as well as bromine, so it pulls from hydrogen. It also pulls from bromine. It pulls from hydrogen. It also pulls from iodine. So if you talk about acidic strength, this hydrogen is easy to remove compared to any other hydrogen in the remaining three hypohalous acids. The reason is oxygen has only one source of electron to pull, only one source to pull the electron, that is nothing but hydrogen. In fact, oxygen is losing its electron density to fluorine, thereby it becomes more electronegative. Hence, this hydrogen is easy to remove. If I compare these three, oxygen has two sources, one is hydrogen and other is halogen. One is hydrogen and other is halogen. So here oxygen pulls from this chlorine, bromine as well as iodine, where it pulls more from halogen, right. See here, electronegativity, it is 3, some 2.8, this is 2.5. So if the electronegativity of halogen is less, then oxygen pulls more. If it pulls more from iodine, the positive charge on hydrogen will be less, right. So iodine is less electronegative, that means the positive charge on this hydrogen will be less because it can pull more from hydrogen as well as iodine. When I come to HOCl, since the chlorine electronegativity is comparatively more, right, it pulls less from chlorine, that means oxygen has to pull more from hydrogen. That means this hydrogen carries more positive charge compared to this hydrogen and this hydrogen. That means HOCl is easily loses H plus compared to HOBr and HOI. Therefore, the acidic strength order is HOF greater than HOCl greater than HOBr greater than HOI. And one more important point is bond angle. Oxygen, hydrogen, fluorine. So here the bond angle is found to be 97.2. So in HOF the bond angle is 97.2, in OF2 the bond angle is 103, in H2O it is 104.5 degrees or 9 degrees, something like that. Now here anyway, if you compare these three, the central atom is oxygen, hybridization is same, but the bond angle is less. Why the bond angle in HOF is less? So this is the explanation. Oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen, therefore it carries positive charge. Oxygen is less electronegative than fluorine, therefore it carries negative charge. Because of these partial charges, right, there is attraction between this positive charge hydrogen and negative charge fluorine, thereby these two are pulled closer, hence the bond angle is less, hence the bond angle is less. Good morning, welcome back. Today we are going to study about bleaching powder. This topic is not there for mains, it is only, we study this topic only for advance. Bleaching powder is little confusing, right? So let us see why it is little confusing. First let us start with Clifford view. According to Clifford, it is a mixture of calcium hypochlorite, basic calcium chloride. So this is calcium hypochlorite, calcium hydroxide is basic medium, so basic calcium chloride. So according to Clifford, it is mixture of calcium hypochlorite and basic calcium chloride. If I see Odling's view, bleaching powder is CaOCl2. So if you see the bonding, this chlorine carries -1, this is +1, -2, +2 charge. When you do the experiment and if you examine bleaching powder under microscope or by X-ray examination, it is found that it is a mixture of calcium hypochlorite and basic calcium chloride. But we study the chemical properties with respect to Odling view. What is the reason? The reason is, first one, see how you prepare bleaching powder. Let us start from that point. The preparation of bleaching powder is done by passing chlorine gas over slaked lime. Slaked lime is nothing but calcium hydroxide. So we pass chlorine gas through calcium hydroxide. Let us see what are the possible reactions. So here the first one is calcium hydroxide reacts with chlorine to form, say around 40 degrees. So what we get here is CaOCl2 plus H2O. If I do the reaction like this, calcium hydroxide plus chlorine will get calcium hypochlorite water, say to H2O. And the third possibility is Right, you can see calcium concentrate on the reactant, calcium hydroxide plus chlorine, calcium hydroxide plus chlorine, calcium hydroxide plus chlorine. But the conditions you are maintaining is different. This is dry slaked lime. So what I will get is calcium CaOCl2, right? Here if you mix them in 2:2 ratio, that is cold and dilute condition, you will get calcium hypochlorite. Here this is hot and concentrated condition, what you will get is calcium chloride. So why it is difficult? The reason is when you mix these two, depending upon the condition, you will get all these products to some extent. So that is why it is actually a mixture of calcium hypochlorite and basic calcium chloride, right? So before invention of these X-rays etc., generally it was considered to be simply CaOCl2. Now, although bleaching powder is mixture of, mainly considered as mixture of calcium hypochlorite and basic calcium chloride, but the amount of chlorine that is present here is not available for chemical changes. But the amount of chlorine that is available, right, is well fits according to the Odling formula. It corresponds to the Odling formula. So we basically use Odling formula to study the chemical properties of bleaching powder. Now I use one word called available chlorine. What is the meaning that we are going to study in the subsequent discussions? So why it is complex? Because all these reactions may take place when you mix calcium hydroxide and chlorine. So basically the correct formula is, it is considered as mixture of calcium hypochlorite and basic calcium chloride. But while studying the chemical properties, we use Odling formula. So I have explained why it is difficult, because these reactions, side reactions or main reaction, they takes place depending upon the conditions you are maintaining. So let us study some physical properties. So in industry, it is prepared by Hans Clover plant or Beckman's plant. These are the two methods, right? Industrial methods. Coming to the physical properties, it is yellowish white solid, pale yellow, yellowish white solid with a strong smell of chlorine. With a strong smell of chlorine. Right. So pale yellow, కొద్దిగా light yellow గా ఉంటుంది, mostly white. So it is a yellowish white solid, right? Because it contains calcium chloride with a strong smell of chlorine. Chlorine అనేది రిలీజ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది even if you expose it to air. That is why you get strong smell of chlorine. It is soluble in water. So when you dissolve in water, it is soluble in water, but there is some insoluble part. The insoluble part or insoluble part, the part that is insoluble, the insoluble part is unreacted slaked lime present in it. And calcium hydroxide ఏదైతే మీకు unreacted అవుతుందో, that remains insoluble. So whatever the bleaching powder I take, if I dissolve, it will dissolve, but there will be some undissolved part. That undissolved part is basically the reactant itself. That means this reaction, all the calcium hydroxide may not be completely converted into the final product. So you may have unreacted reactant. So these are the important points. It is yellowish white solid with a strong smell of chlorine. If you take bleaching powder and if you hold it, if you expose it to air, it start decomposing, releasing chlorine. So that is why you will get strong smell of chlorine. Fresh bleaching powder kuntundi. It is soluble in water, mostly it is soluble, but whatever the insoluble part that is left over, it is basically the lime, that is unreacted. As I said earlier, we are going to use Odling formula by which we can explain the chemical properties. First point, auto-oxidation. Bleaching powder undergoes auto-oxidation. That means when you expose it to air, when you place open to air, it undergoes self-oxidation, self-decomposition, right? So I am taking Odling formula CaOCl2, right? So this is the auto oxidation. So you can see this is chloride, calcium chloride, Cl minus, you will get higher oxidation state +5, +1 -1 +5. So this is how it undergoes auto oxidation. It converts into calcium chloride and calcium chlorate, ClO3 minus calcium chlorate. In water, with water, so when you dissolve in water, right, it normally dissociates into ions. If it is cold water, it normally dissociates. So in cold water, but if it is hot water, in hot water the ClO minus undergoes disproportionation. Cl minus right, this is hypochlorite ion, hypochlorite ion, right. What is the oxidation state of chlorine? It is +1, here it is -1, here it is +5. So +1 to -1 decrease in oxidation state, +1 to +5 increase in oxidation state, therefore it undergoes disproportionation. It undergoes disproportionation. Next, with dilute acids. First, with limited dilute acid. So when you add limited dilute acid, right, for example CaOCl2 plus H2SO4, say 2:1 ratio, more bleaching powder, less sulfuric acid, right, you will get nascent oxygen, right. So dissociation you can write Ca plus 2 OCl minus Cl minus, so Ca plus 2 SO4 CaSO4, right. Or another molecule you will get CaCl2. So left over is there are 2 OCl minus 2H plus, you will get 2 HOCl and 1 nascent oxygen. 2 HOCl gives 2 HCl plus 1 nascent oxygen. So 1 nascent oxygen and another you will get oxygen. You will get oxygen. So you can write like this Ca plus 2 Cl minus O Cl minus, we have written here. So 2H plus combines with 2 ClO minus, you will get 2 HOCl which is unstable, gives 2 HCl plus nascent oxygen. So already we have one more nascent oxygen here, therefore that combine to form oxygen. If I add excess acid, so with limited dilute acid, what you will get? Oxygen. With excess dilute acid, excess means we take in 1:1 ratio. So what we get here is CaSO4, only one calcium, CaSO4, right? Leftover is OCl minus, Cl minus. So we have excess acid, so there is no question of formation of HCl here, right? So A2HOCl, what we get is H2O plus chlorine gas. Okay, let us write Cl2. So in the presence of excess acid, HCl is not formed, you will get chlorine gas. Now, whatever the chlorine that is released, right, we call it as available chlorine. So let us define from the same equation. The amount of chlorine released by the addition of excess dilute acid to bleaching powder is known as available chlorine. So what is available chlorine? The amount of chlorine released by the addition of excess dilute acid to bleaching powder is known as available chlorine. Available chlorine. A good quality of bleaching powder contains around 35 to 38% of available chlorine. A good quantity of bleaching powder generally should contain around 35 to 38% of available chlorine. Now, if I take this bleaching powder and store it, right, for long period, it loses this available chlorine. That means the percentage of chlorine available is lost. It will be less. Why it is less? Because it undergoes auto oxidation to CaCl2 and CaClO3. Because of this conversion, these two cannot release chlorine. When you add acid, these two compounds, they do not release chlorine. Only bleaching powder will release chlorine. Therefore, if it undergoes auto oxidation, it converts into a compound which do not release chlorine. So the amount of available chlorine in bleaching powder will decrease. Once again, if the bleaching powder is stored for long periods, the available chlorine decreases because the bleaching powder will undergo conversion into CaCl2 calcium chloride by auto oxidation. So these are the 3 points. What is available chlorine? What is good quantity of bleaching powder? What happens if you store for long periods? So once again, what is available chlorine? The amount of chlorine released when excess dilute acid is added to bleaching powder, we call it as available chlorine. A good quantity bleaching powder is the one which contains 35 to 38% of available chlorine. If you store bleaching powder for long periods, because of auto oxidation, it converts into CaCl2 calcium chloride. Therefore, the available chlorine decreases because they do not release chlorine when you add acid. Next, reaction with CO2. So all this you can study under oxidizing properties. So first let us see what happens with CO2. CaOCl2 plus CO2. So CaOCl2 decomposes to CaCl2 plus nascent oxygen, CaCl2 plus nascent oxygen, right. So that oxygen is added to carbon dioxide, forms carbonate ion, resulting in the formation of CaCO3 plus Cl2. So even by addition of CO2 you can get available chlorine, you can get chlorine gas. So if you want to study the oxidizing properties, so we just write the common reaction CaCl2 plus nascent oxygen. So first oxidation of, let us write KNO2, potassium nitrite. So it decomposes like this. So one of the product is CaCl2 and liberating oxygen. The oxygen is added to this KNO2. KNO2 converts into KNO3. Addition of oxygen, we call it as oxidation. Even you can write H2S also, no problem. H2S plus CaOCl2. What I will get? H2O plus S plus CaCl2. You can write Na3ASO3. Same reaction, add oxygen to this. Addition of oxygen, we call it as oxidation, Na3ASO4 CaCl2. Even with ammonia, ammonia oxidation state is -3, it will be oxidized to nitrogen. Remember here it is not a strong oxidizing agent like KMnO4, K2Cr2O7, it is a weak or mild oxidizing agent. So nitrogen will be oxidized to N2, -3 to, in ammonia it is -3 to 0. So that is how you have to remember. So there is only one nascent oxygen but 3 hydrogens, right. So CaCl2 plus N2 plus water. See, we have 3 hydrogens. So to get N2 we have to take 2 moles, 2 NH3. So there are 6 hydrogens. So they will be removed as water. So we require 3 oxygens, but here it provides only 1 oxygen. So we have to take 3 moles. This is 3 moles. So nitrogen is oxidized from -3 to 0. Similarly, you can oxidize iodine. 2Ki plus 2HCl. We get 2KCl plus HI. HI is reducing agent. HI plus CaOCl2 gives CaCl2 plus H2O plus I2 plus 2KCl. See iodine -1 to 0. Here -3 to 0. Anyway, here it is clear, 3 oxygens, we have 4, 0 oxygens, 1 oxygen, 2 oxygens, 3 oxygens. So all these are oxidizing properties. Next, it oxidizes ethyl alcohol, acetaldehyde and acetone to chloroform. This is how chloroform is prepared, industrial. It oxidizes ethyl alcohol, acetaldehyde, acetone to chloroform. Now let us see. In this process it involves these reactions, it involves oxidation, chlorination and hydrolysis. So let us see one by one. First, ethyl alcohol. So we take bleaching powder, CaOCl2, hydrolysis. This is like salt hydrolysis. So this is salt of hypochlorite, HOCl and calcium hydroxide. So what we get is calcium hydroxide plus chlorine, nascent chlorine. So this is hydrolysis reaction. In the second step, bleaching powder reacts with ethyl alcohol, that is CH3 CH2OH. Ethyl alcohol is oxidized to acetaldehyde CH3CHO. See this. Alcohol is oxidized to aldehyde. It itself will undergo reduction. It loses oxygen, forming CaCl2. Here removal of 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, will get water. So here ethyl alcohol is oxidized to acetaldehyde. Oxidation, hydrolysis. The obtained acetaldehyde is chlorinated by liberated chlorines. So the next step, chlorination. So here we are covering ethyl alcohol as well as acetaldehyde. Ethyl alcohol as well as acetaldehyde. The alpha hydrogens are replaced with chlorine. These reactions we will study in organic chemistry. Plus 3HCl. Whatever this is called chloral. The chloral undergo reaction with base present in the medium to get chloroform. Plus calcium formate. This is how you can prepare chloroform. So even you can write with acetone. So these alpha hydrogens are chlorinated, forming CCl3COCH3 plus 3HCl. Then upon basic hydrolysis, so what we get here is chloroform, calcium acetate, so this is the reaction of preparation of chloroform from ethyl alcohol, acetaldehyde and acetone. So let us study the uses of chloroform. It is used as oxidizing agent as well as chlorinating agent and bleaching agent. So mostly we use for oxidizing agent, mild oxidizing agent and bleaching agent. As bleaching agent, in cotton industry, paper pulp industry, etc. Used in sterilization of water to kill bacteria. Chlorine is good bleaching agent, so used in sterilization of water. Next, used in the preparation of manufacturing of chloroform. A good industrial solvent. So these are some uses.